right, let's get this fired up. I'm having a rough day today because it is just starting to really hit me that that next week is my birthday and I'm going to be 53, and that's fucking old. So I'm kind of freaking out over here all of a sudden. I wasn't freaking out earlier today, but I'm freaking out now. And I'm closing out season 1 of Sketch Weekly. I know I said last week was going to be the closing out of the season, but I looked at the playlist and there are 59 videos in it, and that's not right. I can't have a 59 episode season. I'm going to have a 60 episode season. That will be better. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And let's see here. Let me just finish wiping down my screen tablet. Get myself switched gears into we gonna draw some shit. I don't know what. I mean, we finished the Gart last week, so I guess what I will do, let's switch over here and we'll create a brand new image. I was talking over on the Discord, and I should really get the stream running on the Discord actually. So let me go over there and get that in place. I'm gonna jump in and we're gonna share the appropriate window. Get that fired up. And there it is. And we'll go live. We got the stream kicking. And there we are. So I got the stream kicked up and everything's over there and we're in good shape. Okay. So I was talking to one of the users, and he was saying, why don't you draw a mech? And I don't know. I haven't really drawn mecha since I was like a kid in school. That was a thing I would do back then. But I've not really done that in a long time. So I don't know. Let's grab some reference for that, and we'll see. What do I have for? Hey, perfect. Let's grab a picture of vehicle Voltron. That's perfect. Vehicle Voltron is the best mech, ever. Let's just pull that up and we'll get right here. This is just like a reference picture. It's got the front and back. I will kind of scale that down and use it as more color reference and such as that. And let's get something that's more posed. Here we go. This is a this sort of wallpapery thing. We'll bring that over here. There we go. Now we got that, and I wonder if there's a way to crop this. It doesn't look that way. Okay. Yeah. Or what if we come in here, we do a transform, and we rotate that now. Transform. Edit. transform, flip horizontal. There we go. And now we'll take that and we'll move it over here. There we go. That's much better. So there we've got kind of our reference, and we'll just kind of sort of work from that. I'm getting old, and I'm not really used to that. I don't think you're ever used to that. I mean, every birthday you're like older than you ever were. Let's kind of take a look at the shapes that we're working with here. And kind of the whole thing around getting older is that you sort of understand what's going on in your life, and you see what's going on with other people your age, and you see what's going on with people in general. To be more okay. The fingers. This could be, I'm thinking about this. This could be really useful in terms of studying the planar, in just like studying the planes of where like the hand is here. You can see the way that this is done. There's the hand is sort of a box shape, and then the thumb emerges from that. And the thumb's not really a great example of the thing that I'm talking about here, but you can see from the highlight here that there's a sort of shape to it right in there. And you get that same sort of thing with the fingers, where you've got these box shapes. I'm not doing a great job on these, but you've kind of got this series of planes and angles. That might help, because when you try and draw like an actual organic hand, everything's kind of rounded, but you still have these planes. Working with the flat sort of cubical shapes might actually be really helpful in getting used to the more rounded shapes, because then you just kind of you round off your corners here, and instead of your sharp corner, you'd have more of a smooth organic thing going on, where this little edge there would kind of disappear. That seems useful. there are all kinds of little bits and pieces that that you need to examine with this so that you could do a good job of drawing it. And yeah, I haven't done anything like this since I was a kid in school. It's just like 40 years ago. And because people always kind of shit on you, and they say, "Oh, that thing you're drawing, that's childish. You're drawing monsters and skulls and robots, and that's dumb. Don't draw that." But I don't know. It kind of seems like if you draw the things you're interested in, that maybe you'll keep drawing them and not... See, now there's a question. How are the knees constructed? It looks like the knees are kind of hinged a bit there. So the front of the knee sort of stays where it is. And then you've got kind of this triple area here. And then underneath that, you've got the foot, in which they've done as a car, and that's not a terrible concept. I mean, like an actual foot. If what we're looking at here is the left foot, then an actual left foot would kind of have this shape. It would sweep up, and this would sweep inward, and then here you'd have an ankle and a heel. But that's not such a different shape from the car. And thing about legs is yeah, that's the direction the ankle swoops. But on a mech, you've got this kind of big blocky thing like that, and you've got a big blocky thing like that, and you're not thinking about stuff like the way everything curves and the way everything comes together and where the toes are and all of that sort of thing. None of that's important. It's got like your grill and your headlights and a windshield, and then you've got this top part here, and there's your knee, and there's your thigh. And when it's built like that, you can kind of worry about proportion and go, okay, I want the thigh to come down here, and here's where the knee bends. So this is where the leg actually bends at the knee, and you get all of those same articulation points there. You just don't have the same sort of organic lines, the organic sweeping quality to it. This is interesting. My oldest son was telling me earlier today that one of his friends was watching my stream and making fun of me. And I said, yeah, I know I'm not a particularly good streamer. I'm primarily working on This is me making myself practice more than anything. And that's like, I kind of wonder about somebody like that. It's like, why would you look at your friend's dad doing a stream and go, "Oh my God, your dad's such a fucking loser"? He's my son. He doesn't care. He doesn't really. He doesn't really identify with humanity. You know, he has a sort of a superiority complex. He feels like humanity is stupid and dumb, and he's better than that. And I generally encourage this because, as far as I'm concerned, he is better than that. You are better than humanity, son. You should absolutely be better than humanity. Because most of humanity sucks, you know? And we have long conversations about that sort of thing. And I think that's kind of a normal part of growing up, is to kind of figure out, where do you fit in the world and where is your place. And honestly, what would lead you to associate yourself with humanity? If you look around yourself and you see that human beings, as a general rule, are weak and stupid and they're cruel to each other for no good reason, why would you identify with that? Why would you want to be part of that particular crowd? I think that's something every generation wrestles with, because we all make compromises over the years. Huh. It's a much larger brush than I should be using. Yeah, this is much better. I'm over here using this massive brush. This is much better. So, kind of got this notion of how mech legs are built over here. And that's all pretty standard. You look at it from the side, and you've got a sort of, here's your major area of articulation, and here's this sort of nested box sitting in there. And there's sort of a gap here that this bit can slot into. So the leg bends, you get kind of, the knee angles up while the leg comes down, and that's still kind of locked on the locked onto the thigh like that. There's some value here that I couldn't see when I was younger. I wonder if a lot of art teachers don't have that same thing, where they don't see the point of drawing these appropriately boxed out proportions, which will in turn teach you proportions. Like here you've got, when you draw a finger, okay, the first joint of the finger right here, that has a length, and then the next joint is 2/3 of that length. And then the last joint, 2/3 of that length. So you've always got a little bit longer there. And then you've got the sort of the way the knuckles are constructed and the way the length of the hand is constructed, and all of that fits together. And when this folds in here, it folds in and down, and then that folds in and around, and then that folds in. And because of these different lengths, that all sort of falls into an appropriate size where the meat kind of bunches up. But that bunched up meat still leaves a little kind of space in there unless you really squeeze it in. And I'm not particularly good at representing that. But that's kind of how everything fits together. If you just fold everything down, you fold the one knuckle and then the next and then the next, and it comes into the palm, but it still leaves a space there, you know? And they're all like that. And then you have the rhythm of the fingers, which is like how the fingers move, and it's kind of one finger leads and the rest of the fingers follow. So if you're closing your hand, typically the little finger would close first, followed by the ring finger, and then the middle finger, and then the forefinger, and then the thumb comes in over top of that. And as you can see, I'm accustomed to Okinawan karate because I make the Okinawan fist with the knuckle of the first finger extended. And that's just reflex for me. Making a fist like this doesn't feel right anymore, so I always do it like this. That's just how it feels natural to me now. I'm not entirely sure how I want to open up season 2. I've been doing these weekly live streams for 60 weeks without a break. That's over a year. Every single week I do a stream, no matter what. Even if I don't feel like it. I mean, I might not stream as long. I think I've done at least one stream that was only like 20, 25 minutes. But usually I get half an hour to 45 minutes. And sometimes I go over an hour. And the purpose of this has always been, I mean, really, my goal with this stream is not to teach or to entertain so much as to make myself practice. Because I have trouble doing that. I have trouble practicing. I've been trying to make myself practice more. I've been trying to sit down every night and practice. And over the last week, the number of nights that I've managed to sit down and practice every single night is 0. I did my stream, and the other 6 nights of the week I did absolutely fucking nothing. So that's not really working out. I'm not doing a very good job on that. But I am trying, and I'm going to keep trying. So that, does this hinge down, or does it just rotate? It definitely rotates. Because you can see from this pose here that, wow, you can't even see that back foot. It's way up here. So that's, if you looked at this from the side, you'd have the thigh coming down like this. Then you have the leg coming down like that, and the foot here. So then the other leg is coming forward at a steep angle. And then the foot and the leg like this. And all of that is counterbalanced. You can see here, it goes diagonally across. The same here, diagonally across. In order to maintain balance and to keep form, there's kind of a crisscross thing that goes on, where if you look at it from above, you've got a forward leg and a backward leg, and you've also got from the shoulder a backward arm over here and a forward arm over here, and those kind of form this little X shape, where you've got the leg and the leg and the arm and the arm, and your shoulders are going one direction, your hips are going the other direction. And of course, even from the front on, we know that in the contrapposto shape, we've got the downward slope of the hips, now you've got the upward slope of the shoulders. And you can see here, we've got this arm way back and this arm way forward. And here with the hips, we've got the same basic thing that's going on. And this pose is really kind of awkward. This pose is kind of a cross-step thing going on here. I don't know, it looks more like a ballet move than a fighting step, although ballet is similar to fighting. Interesting things to think about, though. I'm starting to get cold feet on the background stuff because I'm gonna be really bad at it. And I don't want to. I just finished my first real piece that I've ever finished, like ever. So, because I've just finished that piece, I want to do something else that's that good. But that's not what I really need to work on. What I need to work on is the stuff that I'm not good at. And that's a trap a lot of people fall into. You see all these people that they draw their OCs over and over again, and they're really, really good at it. But that's all they do is their OCs. They don't draw lots of different characters. They don't draw lots of different things. They don't do backgrounds. They don't do action poses. They just do this kind of, here's my OC, just kind of standing around being cool. And that doesn't really develop your skills. I mean, particularly you get to a point where you're like, I'm good at this, and you do it the same way every time, and every time you do that, you turn around and you share it on Twitter, and people go, wow, that's really good. 'Cause it is. You've done it 8,000 fucking times, and you get that dopamine and endorphin rush. But that's dangerous, and you can't lean on that. You have to get your dopamine and endorphin rush from doing the work. You have to be interested in the process. You have to be interested in actually making the thing that you want to make. Another important point is that visualizing success is wonderful. Fantasizing about success is absolutely unfucking productive, and a lot of people don't know the difference. The difference is, where do you see yourself when you do your visualization? Because if you're properly visualizing to accomplish your goals, you see yourself doing the work. You see yourself sitting at your desk doing the work that needs to be done. You see yourself writing the code for your game, or drawing the sketches and thumbnails for your characters, actually doing the mix down and preparation for your music. You see yourself doing the thing that needs to be done. Fantasy is where you see yourself enjoying the rewards of being done. If you think about writing a book and the thing that you think about is being interviewed on a talk show or being on a panel at a convention or signing books at a store, if that's the thing you see yourself doing, that's fantasy. It's not productive. There's nothing wrong with it. You could do that. It's fine. It's a way that people motivate themselves. It's a way that people enjoy themselves. But it's not going to get you any closer to writing that book or to drawing that picture or to making the music or to writing the game. And all of this stuff is relevant to me because I'm doing all of these things all at once because I'm fucking stupid. And if you just see yourself enjoying the rewards of being done, you're not actually getting yourself any closer to being done. You're just being frustrated that you haven't gotten there yet. And you have to visualize the actual work and going, well, okay, I've got to work out how these proportions work. I've got to work out this perspective. How do I make this perspective work? How do I do this with an organic character and not a robot, you know? And how do I get to a point that I can draw hands that don't look like shit? You have to see yourself doing that work and learning the things. And on top of seeing yourself doing that, when you visualize yourself getting shit done, you also have to enjoy the process of doing it. If you don't enjoy the process of doing it, then you're going to have a bad time. It's just, that's all there is to it. If you don't actually enjoy the process of getting the work done, you might want to reconsider what it is you're doing. Like, I can get lost in this stuff. When I'm looking at a piece of reference and I'm going, okay, well, I need to think about how these helicopter rotors fit into the process and the way those relate to how the robot moves and how the robot would fight, you know, because, you know, these are, of course, these spinning laser blades that he'll pull out and throw around all over the place. But when you're sitting around and thinking about all of that stuff, some people are just like, God, I just want to like draw the stuff. I just want to draw it. I just want to be done. I just want, oh man, it looks like shit. I like the process of going from reference and going, okay, no, that's not right. No, that's not right. No, that's not right. You know what? Let's start with the shape and form that goes behind that piece. Just remember the chamfered edges on the arms right there, and we're gonna have a fist there eventually, but to do the that piece there, we want it to be, there we go. And then we've got the whole thing divided up into thirds, about like that. And that process of trying it over and over and getting it right, I enjoy that. I feel like that's something that's worth doing. I can feel myself getting closer to it and getting more and more toward what I want it to be and where I want it to be. And figuring out exactly how to do it is something that I find rewarding in and of itself. It's the same thing with when I write poetry. You know, when I write poetry, getting 2 lines to rhyme and for their meter to match up, that's fantastic to me. Writing down a paragraph of a story or a book where I actually get across the thing that I'm trying to get across, and it flows at the proper pace for what's going on in the story. I really enjoy that process. And this is largely because over the past 50 years, well, 40 odd years, I wasn't doing this when I was 3, but over the past like 40 odd years, somebody drew that distinction for me and said, you know, if you're fantasizing about what happens when you're done, that's not going to help you. But visualizing yourself doing the work is going to help you. And if you visualize yourself doing the work for fun, then when you actually sit down and do the work, it's more fun. This is kind of a hard thing to get across. Your brain doesn't really know the difference between fantasy and reality, first of all. When you think about something, if you stop and you just you imagine in the most vivid detail that you can what it would feel and taste like to take a bite of a hamburger. Your brain doesn't know the difference between that and actually taking a bite of a hamburger. And you can trick your brain into thinking. If you're hungry and you think about yourself eating a hamburger, you can trick your brain into going, well, we're not hungry, we just had a hamburger. Because your brain's fucking stupid. You're smarter than your brain. It's your brain tricking your brain. Chew on that one for a while. But because your brain doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality, you can train it to enjoy the fantasy, and then it will enjoy the reality. It's like if you envision yourself practicing on the basketball court, you're not going to get tired, and you're not going to get injured, and you're not going to need to go out to the court and take your basketball and go through all of that crap. And a lot of that is like the problem, you know? Is you're going through all of that process, getting ready to go and do your practicing in the basketball court. But going through all of that when you're not going to enjoy the practice, when you look at the practice and go, God, I gotta practice. If you've trained your brain by imagining your practice and envisioning your practice and just enjoying the process of, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it and I'm going to get better and that's going to be cool. You can teach your brain to enjoy that stuff. And because you can teach your brain to enjoy that stuff, you will then teach it to go, oh boy, we're getting ready to go to the basketball court. We're getting ready to go practice. I love to practice. You can trick your brain into that shit. And you can do that all day long. Most people don't bother, but it's a thing you can do. Nobody ever fucking listens to me. But it's a process that you can use to convince yourself to get work done, to enjoy getting work done. And I've anchored my practice to doing this stream, and I've anchored my stream to a specific meal. I have what I call weeb dinner every Saturday night, and I've been not doing that the past couple of weeks because I want to get away from attaching that to it, and I'm trying to draw a new connection in my brain, which I haven't done yet. And that connection is when I get the Windex and I clean my drawing tablet, I want that to be it's time to draw. I want that to be my changing shoes and getting my basketball and going to the basketball court. I want my brain to go, oh, we're cleaning the drawing screen. Oh, boy, we're going to draw. And if I can get it to shift gears like that, then I'll be able to practice more often. And that's the trick that I'm trying to use on it. What did I just do? I have no idea. But, yeah. So, was I getting? I just got completely derailed. just got completely pattern switched on that. Pattern interruption. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do to get myself to practice more often, and to not just do the streams, but to do further work during the rest of the week. I think that will really make a difference, and it'll kind of supercharge the work that I'm doing. I'm getting this done. Because I do need to, I need to do a whole lot of characters for my game. You can see here all of my proportions are off on this. All my proportions on this are just completely messed up. So, I need to think about that from a different perspective. But yeah, I've got all of this stuff because what I want to do is I want to have this series of enemies, and I want to have like 9 of them, and then I want to have a yandere. And on the way there, the way this is going to work is all of these initial enemies are going to have a theme. And we're going to have like, to start off with, I'm going to have office workers, and then there's going to be like various different things. Like there'll be a level full of magical girls, and a level full of fantasy creatures, and a level full of girls with animal ears. And obviously you got to have schoolgirl uniforms, and it's just it's a bunch of stuff that people just kind of expect from this kind of thing. And if you don't deliver it, then they get annoyed and upset. But no, why are my configuration options open? Okay, that's done. But it's like the thing I've been thinking about with this is I've got kind of the I've got a series of locations that I want them to show up in. And yeah, we've got there's the main, like the office workers, and then I've got a subway station, school uniforms, fantasy characters, magical girls on the playground, and then the and then after that I've got the girls with animal ears, the kimono mimi. Man. I've really not gotten much done on this over the past year. I'm seeing that in my notes, the last major note I've got is from November of 2021, which is, like exactly last year. Man. I'm behind on like everything, but that's normal. I'm typically behind on everything because I'm old and I'm slow and I procrastinate and I take longer to do things than I expect to. Hmm. A series of things that I was. Wow, I've actually got code in here that hasn't been added to the game. I literally just like wrote code in my notes. Huh. But yeah, that's kind of where I am in that. Still need the musical tracks too. I haven't even started on those. I haven't even figured out what platform I'm using to build those, for God's sake. I need to do this music. I haven't done any work on that at all. I haven't even chosen which DAW I'm using yet. I've got like 4 of them over here that I need to evaluate, and I haven't even picked one. What have I got here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 games on the slate, and they've been sitting there for a year, and I haven't even finished the first game on the list. The rest are going to come a lot faster once I do the first one, though. So, because the blocker is the quality of my art. I need the quality of my art to improve so I can actually put it in the game so it'll actually work. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be working on, is getting all that shit together and making it all work. This is quite possibly the worst stream I've ever done. Well, I think I got a little more useful information out there. And at least I talked a little bit about visualization, about my struggles to practice more and to do that kind of thing. But yeah, that's. I don't think I'm going to get anything more productive done on the rest of this stream, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop it. If you're watching this on YouTube, do the little YouTube dance. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit. And okay, bye. I'll see you in season 2. Next week, season 2. I'll be 53 years old and we're gonna do season. I'll be 53 years old when we do it. And yeah, so yeah, I'll see you then. So bye.